Every generation thinks it invented freedom of speech, but most of the time, it just found a new landlord. We call it decentralization, which is a fancy way of saying the same people, different logo. The message is new, but the structure is ancient. The world updates its apps, but not its architects. Once upon a time, a few studios and printing presses told the world what was real. They called it mass media, and it really was a one-way system, broadcasting from the few to the many. The anchors spoke, the public listened. Reality had a schedule, 9 p.m. sharp, right after the commercials. The world was simpler back then. If it wasn't on TV, it probably didn't happen. A handful of networks decided what mattered, and millions quietly agreed. For better or worse, the signal was clear, and the silence in between was comfortable. Then came the internet, and suddenly everyone had a microphone. The dream of free speech became a hyperlink. Blogs, forums, YouTube, Twitter, a global open mic night where anyone could speak. And most people did. The world was no longer listening to a few voices. It was drowning in millions. Truth became a debate thread. Opinions multiplied faster than facts could keep up. For a moment, it felt like the greatest invention of democracy. And maybe it was, until everyone realized they were also the audience, the actor, and the product. But the story didn't end there, because power doesn't disappear, it migrates. The faces changed, the fonts changed, the control panel didn't. The same financiers who once owned newspapers started buying social media shares instead. They traded printing presses for algorithms, and headlines for hashtags. The castle didn't fall, it just moved to the cloud. You could say there are two kinds of money. Old money, born from land, production, and national interest. The kind that smells like iron, soil, and old ledgers. It builds railways, factories, and monuments. Things you can touch, things that last. And then came new money, made from data, finance, and the idea that everyone should be connected. It doesn't build things, it builds systems. Invisible, efficient, and strangely addictive. Old money builds tractors. New money builds algorithms. Both want to feed the world, one with wheat, the other with dopamine. Globalists saw the internet not just as a tool, but as a stage, a platform for commerce, communication, and culture, all streaming live. Borders became optional, languages mixed. Cultures started blending, sometimes nicely, sometimes like a strange remix no one asked for. And for the first time in history, a farmer in China and a rapper in Brazil could trend in the same feed. The planet didn't shrink, it just went online. The internet flattened the world, but not evenly. Production followed profit, information followed attention, and attention became the most valuable currency on earth. You don't mine it, you don't print it, you earn it, with outrage, emotion, and endless scrolling. Traditionalists tried to keep up. The same people who once swore by factory schedules now plan their posts around algorithms. Even the most national industries learned the language of hashtags. Because today, if you make textiles or tractors, you still need an influencer to sell them. The revolution didn't kill the system, it just gave it better Wi-Fi. The factory floor moved online, the new machines run on attention. So here we are, millions of voices, billions of screens. The media is decentralized, but also somehow more centralized than ever. Billions are speaking, but most of them through the same few platforms, running on the same few cables, owned by the same few companies. Freedom scaled perfectly, but not evenly. Maybe true decentralization isn't about who owns the platform, but who owns their mind. In the end, the real frontier of freedom isn't online. It's internal, and maybe, just maybe, the next revolution won't be televised. It'll be thought. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and share it with someone who still believes in freedom of thought.